So my project is called Pillar of Salt. It's like a biblical reference. Like there is a sentence in the Bible. It says like Lot's wife looked back. She was turned to a pillar of salt. I used this reference, like my interest is the power of gaze and how this woman who was anonymous in the entire book, like looked at something and she was turned into a salt pillar that's together being like left with the sinful city that God decided to punish. When I started working on this, I thought, first of all, people who had Me Too, women who had Me Too moment is a very important community I want to serve because they're traumatized by these, and they're entitled to talk about these things. This makes them feel empowered, and they have a very strong desire, especially under the current media atmosphere. They feel a very strong desire to come out and join this trend. Pillar of Salt, I see it as an attempt to create a safe space for both sides of the people to come in and sit down and have a conversation. So how I will do it is so like this is one of the forms that I'm like experimenting. It's like a light sculpture. Right now there's no light in it, but the way to build it is like I will create these wooden structure and then attach very thin strips of paper on it. And paper is a great medium to use when I have community workshop because I can have people process these things, like they can have writing on it and that becomes their thing. They have their signature. So when I go out and have community workshop with people, we will sit down and have these conversation about how did we get here, like this polarized, and why are sometimes why like men would do these microaggression, and like why like women always feel like we need to behave a certain way, like how did we arrive to this current division of gender stereotype. We had this vulnerability workshop at the beginning when we were building up community trust with my fellows, with this cohort. After going through that, I just felt like this community becomes a completely safe space. Being able to create something makes me feel happy, and I want to pass on this happiness of creating to my audience.